All right, now it's recording. So welcome everyone. So right now is 5 p.m. and so we will get started. Let's start it from the first question. I think to be fair, I want to answer John question, which is very good. Is can you see my chart? Everyone can see my chart? Not my chart. I mean my screen. Here, high probability blocks. All right. So here there is a very good question from John Casey. And hi guys, here's something that I'm sure you have looked at or maybe not. How do you determine the probability of a block giving you successful trade? Can it even be done? In my mind, there seems to be hold on a second, someone is texting me. In my mind, there seems to be two approaches you could take. One, you can study the time frame on which the order block is formed for the confluence, or you can look at the lower time frame for signs of price reversing. Here is the US dollar Canadian that from my last video, which I think it made 1 to 50, I guess, yeah, from the lower time frame. Okay, looking at the sell block, we can see that it forms on the rejection of the previous candle sell block. There is also the 89 price round level V inside the block. Do any of you guys look for these kind of things in the levels where the block's from, or would you stick to the lower time frame reversal pattern, or even combine the two? I'm interested to hearing your thought. Okay, so now let me explain this. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, when you're looking for an order block right now, when I show this to you right now, it's already happened. This seems to be a failed one, right? Actually it is not. So what you want to know, this is from the H4 one candlestick H4, which you already saw it in the previous video. For this pattern, I mean for this pair, it made about 1 to 50 on the lower time frame by the time, because one candle move on the lower time frame can really give you a massive trade, at least 1 to 10. Okay, oftentimes it is more. So when my husband and I choose the order block, what we first see in this case, especially for this pattern, okay, it's because of first is in a downtrend. So we know the market could be like really high. When we take a look in a downtrend like this, there is possibility that the price could go here, which it did, right? So probably John, the way John see this, or many of you see, this actually doesn't work. Well, the thing is that, like I said over and over again, let's just go back to the original chart, okay? That was Canadian yen, right? Where is it? So here, all right, it was this one. It was this candle. If you take a look short, like right away like that, you think it doesn't work. But remember, whenever the price come back to this level, like I said again and again, you want to measure the risk reward from from the first touch, or where you want to put the stop loss to the last low, right? So basically what happened, actually we were putting it around here, right? So this is the swing high, swing low. Here is the swing high. Here is the swing low. When the market first created break below, we directly placed, my husband and I, we see there is an order block. So we don't know, sometimes the price can go lower, right? and then come back, maybe never touch this. Or the price works like this. It's almost like directly come back and hit our order block, right? Now, sometimes the price can go lower here, right? By the time you can see, for example, the risk reward, let's say until here, take profit 8. But in this example, the price come back. Where is the last low here? When it first touched there, this one, right? I said you always want to know in advance if this is a good order block. When this already happened, you can easily say, this doesn't work, it against. Yes, it does, it passing, and probably this has become a breaker block. Probably this is hit here and then go up, right? Because this is the order block. The breaker block is that if the price pierce through the order block and then come back and then take the order block itself, like the opposite order block, and then come back up, right? So now when the price hit with this candle, you first want to know what is the risk reward to the last low. In this instance, it is more than 1 to 5, or let's say 1 to 5. So if you agree with that, then you can take it. If not, you do not want to take it. It is just like that simple. What you want to do, if you want to take directly, if it only sometimes let's say, imagine, okay, imagine the order block is so big, or maybe you want to take it with the wick over there, okay? And then now, by the time the price hit the order block, consider this, the price is not here yet by the time. So you want to measure here, for example, this is your stop loss, you take profit. This is take profit 3. I wouldn't take it as of what is it? A direct entry. All right. And then here, if you take it at 50, it worked like 1 to 6, for example. Is that good for me? Then okay, that I'm talking about the direct entry. But now again, a lot of people, when they have time, they go to a lower time frame. So I will not explain again this particular pair because we already know this one worked nicely. But the idea is that even working when you look at this like this? Like when you look at the condition like this, look, it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work if you see it, if you did not measure it. Like for example, here you didn't measure it, but then actually, if you took this trade, it actually give you like 1 to 6. But if you take it the whole candle and also above with the high wick, it only gives you 1 to 3. So what consider doesn't work or not working? I think it depends on your target, take profit target. If you aim 1 to 20, then yes, it doesn't work. But like the question is like, you know, some people right now call me Miss Nugget. So because I only take 1 to 10, 1 to 5, whenever I feel, if I feel uncomfortable, I just take it like until 1 to 5, close, 1 to 10, close. So I'm more than enough with that. But some people like my husband, he always adjusts like, okay, my take profit is here. At least he would put like to break even. Okay, and then he will just let go if he believes that the market can go to a certain part of the price level that can give him, for example, 1 to 40, 1 to 60, he would just let it go. Sometimes when his entry is on H1, you know, he can hold his trade like for 1 month, 2 months. It doesn't matter because he's a swing trader. Okay, but here's again, you want to see this is a downtrend. So a sell order block here is considered is still valid. Well, the order block itself is a valid because we are following the rule. Swing low, swing high, break of structure. So this is the order block, regardless it is gonna work or not. It could touch here and then probably didn't reach the last low and then come back up. That also possible. But again, you want to measure before you enter a trade. You always want to measure the probability, how much you can get from if you enter directly. Okay. Now, I hope that is answering John's question. So now let me take a look on another question. Let me see from the top first here. My question, every order block I touched this week, so I haven't got the okay. I had a bad week as well, but mine is about adapting the order block with the company and charges to make this work or find another prop firm. Yeah, sometimes the candle, you see, we are using the IC market, and we use standard account for our real account, okay, for our live account. So but this demo account also is a standard account. But anyway, so we use a standard account, and that sometimes can be different from broker to another broker. Maybe yours, this red is a blue one, we don't know, you know. So my suggestion, whenever you receive the alert from us, and let's say this is our order block and yours is the red one, become the blue one, okay? So maybe you still can use our alert, but then when you go to a lower time frame, use your broker candlestick, okay? So it will not be confusing to you. And 1 minute, yeah, you can try. Look, if you are very new, okay, if you are very new to the order block, I know as much as you can make 1 to 50, 1 to 100 on order block, that is really possible. You know, when you scale in, once you can get 1 to 30, 1 to 20, I would suggest you to feel comfortable first. When you get the order block alert, this is what I personally usually do. If the order block is coming from H4, I focus on M15 and M5, okay? And then if I got the order block from daily or D1, I choose directly from H1 or M15. And the last choice is M5. But again, if it is from daily, I do not go directly to M15. I usually go to H1 first. So maybe you also want to do the same. As much as you want, as much as you can get like M1, probably when you are already in a place like Kyle, you know, Kyle is very good. So maybe you can start doing on M1. But for now, I would suggest you to take time, because M1 could be very fast. And basically on M1, you also can have like more loses than on M5 or M15. So it's also give you more time, because usually on M15 and M5, it's more clear, you know, it's clearer than on M1. So when you get the order block from H4, try to trade it first just on M5 or M15. You may not get 1 to 30, 1 to 50, but at least if you can secure 1 to 5 or to 1 to 10, that will be a good start, you know. So you are not in rush, because M5, it will give you time, you know. One candle is 5 minutes, and then you can it will give you time. So like especially M15, so you are not in rush that you have to do it always on M1, because it's just too fast, especially for the beginner. I really I really suggest just trade on M5 or M15. All right, so it is not too fast for you. And the later, later, once you really understand how to put the break of structure either for buy or sell, it can be easier for you and have more experience to trade it on M1. All right, and so what is that? Oh, I think someone just make can you please remove that? So how to remove that? Anyway, okay, let me you see, when there is a distraction like this, I forget what did I say. Hold on, I will make it clear or drawing. Okay, all right. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back. Look, whenever you receive the order block, okay, from me, sometimes on the M5, let's say you go to M5, sometimes it's clear, like what I showed it here last time. All right, if we go here, this is still the same chart last time. Look, sometimes it's clear, break above, break above, break above. Sometimes it doesn't clear at all if you cannot read the market once after you receive the alert. If you suddenly cannot read the market, let's say the market has become, let's just go back to here. Let me make this. Hold on. For growing. Okay, so let's say this is a giant on the block, okay? And then here, the market touching here, right? What you want is the market make it clear like this, right? That's what you want. Okay, here is the break above, but sometimes it doesn't give you what you want. Sometimes it gives you like this, and then break above again, like this again, and then coming back again. If you happen to find something like this playing around with you and make you feel uncomfortable, just forget it. What I usually do, if I got, like, for example, 4 to 5 times in a row and loses, that will be like 1% of my account. I would just forget it, because the market, what I just want something that is clear right away. What I want is something like this, right? And then continue nicely. Maybe there is one loses around here, which is like, isn't okay. Having a new, having 1 or 2 loses in, what is it? If you make it like a very small break of structure from every alert, is normal, but you want to see a clear path like this and directly continue up. But again, sometimes the market is playing around with you and come back here, come back here. Maybe this started to be clear here, but no more than 2 times to confuse you. But it just, if it keeps coming back and becomes sideways within the order block, just the simple thing, like if you suddenly feel confused, you cannot read the market again, then forget about it, okay? And most likely that you, I would suggest that if you are confused on M5, for example, take a look on a little higher time frame, on M15 or M30. Do you have any losing pair this week that you can tell me, so we can take a look like how to deal with it? Because I really did not really trade this week because I was not feeling well. So do you remember any alert from us? There must be an alert, 1 or 2, that is a losing one. US dollar Japan. Okay, so let's see US dollar Japan. All right. So where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. US dollar. Where? Euro USD. Okay, hold on a second. Euro USD. Here you go. So I can redo. This was not working. Okay, let's start it with Euro USD first. Okay. So let me take a look. Okay, so this was the order block, right? Perfect. This doesn't work. And so let's take a look. So look, when you see like this, even though that my husband or I only mark the red one, basically you can take this week also, okay? But we just do not want to confuse, especially the beginner, because we said the order block for buy is the last bearish candle. So, but now I tell you all that we usually include the week if you want, but even though it include the week, so it's still a losing one, okay? So let's go to M15. Here, this is the first time it touched the area, right? So let's see how many losses. Now you want to start marking your order block, right? You want to see like where it is start breaking. So this one. Okay, so this is the first break of structure. I'm talking this is on M15, right? So let's make this one. So you do not feel confused. All right, and we are going to mark this. Okay, I want to know, do you take the whole candle, so many of you, or you take 50%? I always take 50%. Basically, it doesn't hit or hit by this and then hit as stop loss. Okay, so the first one is a bunker. So yeah, this one is a losing one. Okay, so this is a losing one. And then here is the second one, another losing one. So this is the first loss, okay? And then here is the second loss. Second loss. And then here, remember when I told you that if the first one, if I take this scale in, I would like, if this one is already working, I would like to make it into break even. Remember that? If this one is taken, for example, all right, so this is the first loss, and then go here. So my entry is here. We are taking this one, so at least this one will not become a losing one. Instead, this one, I will put it in here because I scale in here. You do not want to have a running trade two and both of them hitting by a stop loss. I usually do this, okay? So when I have one trade like this, when I do not scale in, for example, my personal rule, it is not considered the best, you know, but my personal rule, if I have only one trade and I do not scale in, I usually let the price hit until 1 to 5, from 1 to 5, and then put it in break even. But my break even is at 1 to 1. Okay, so either it hit break even, which is at 1 to 1, or it hit a stop loss if it doesn't reach 1 to 5, or it wins 1 to 10. That's what I always do. 1 to 5 or break even. 1 to 1 or break or stop loss, or 1 to 10. But at some point, sometimes when I do not feel comfortable when I'm in front of the computer, and I do not feel comfortable with the market structure, it doesn't move like as I hope. This is why I have it in here. Just I click just break even though it was like only 1 to 2 or something, but break even, not 1 to 1. You know, but by design, I put it 1 to 5 to break even, and then or it takes 1 to 10 or stop loss. That's it. I do not want to interfere too much. You see, my husband told me, once you take decision, let the market work. You know, because sometimes if you are in front of the computer, and especially when you trade M1, it will really disturbing your mind. Somehow you will, I think you have been there, because by looking at the market, this my husband said that it can play with your psychology, you know, like oh no, it's going down, oh no, it's going up, and then so you make a decision in between. when the trade is running, and then you can close too early, you know, it can close too early, or you can revenge on the market, things like that. But like I said, you try from M5 and M15. Once you can feel the market, then you can trade it on M1, okay? But if you are daredevil, then you can just trade it right away on M1. It's okay. I personally, I still feel M1 is too fast. So now let's see here, okay? So here is another break of structure. This one is another order block, if you want to take it like that. And here also another break of structure. So if I were taking this one, hold on. This is like how I would manage my trade, okay? I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so here I take this, and then this one become break even. And so let's just consider there is no trade because it's break even, okay? And this is a losing one, right? The second one is the losing one, and then I have another one here, which is this one. This is the second one. It didn't hit, but then there is this one. It is a matter of choice. You see, if I were here, I wouldn't take this one. Just my gut feeling. I do not because it doesn't work, but just my gut feeling. If I have one losing, okay, and then here's another one, and it's a matter of choice, because the way I see it, I also would draw a trend line here, right? So I was thinking that the price is more makes sense for this than this one, because it may go hit the trend line. So it's just a matter of choice. So the trend line can really helpful to you if you want to make. And then here, if you want to probably make it, so it could be another losing one, and here is another losing one. So you actually have 3 losses, right? Because it hit and then go down, and then if this one, let's say you lose this one, okay? So you have 3, right? Because the first one is the break even. And then now you have another one here, because this is a new break of structure, right? And then here is your order block. And it's another losing. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 losing, and then here another one, and this is, you insist in the market. I usually, after 4 losses, I would just stop. So this one, it hit the 50%, and it takes my 1 to 10 if I put it 1 to 10. All right. So that's what would happen on euro dollar if you take it like 4. So you still positive 6R. All right. So I hope you understand how the process to take it. But again, like in this case, I would just lose 3, 1 break even, lose 3, and win 1 to 10, right? Okay, so do you understand so far, like how the way I deal with this kind of condition? Because there is nothing here. I mean, like, it's a clear one to me. This is break of structure, and then here is the losing one. Yes, this one, if you put it over here, for example. But since this is M15, right? I may, and to be honest, I may put this one. I usually not only look to the right, but also to the left. So this could be a winning one also. But I just want to show you the probability of if we made silly mistakes, for example, not silly mistake, just a mistake. So I would rather to show you that this could be a losing one rather than just a winning one, you know. So I still want to show it to you. Even just one, you still can be positive, and especially with this one, look, it's still another 1 to 15 or 1 to 10. So you still basically you still can get 1 to 16 if you put it at 50%, right? The one there also did not make the snipe pattern. There was a low and the boss no lower low. I don't understand. Which one? I can give you an access. So can you draw something, an annotation here? So can you show it to me? You can use an annotation and then draw this one. Let me just draw this one around here. Yes, okay, the one that also did not make the snipe pattern. There was a low, then a boss, no lower low in between. Okay. Take a look. Take a look. There is. Look. This is a lower high, right? This is a lower low. All right. So the moment it breaks this one, okay, this, the one that it breaks, this is the lower high, a very small area. You may not agree, but the way I see it, take a look. All right. Look. So this is a higher high over here. So this is lower low, lower high, and here. Did you see that? If I do not get what you mean, you just you can do it. Yeah, you can draw it. There is, yeah, here basically this is also becoming a higher low over here. You see, it's a higher low, lower high. If you notice in the video about the scalping, this is what I always say. So whenever you see like a higher low, so this is like better. Do you understand, Par, what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
I will answer.
I don't know if they can
Stephen,
talk.
how many losses we have before we give up on an alert? Okay, I personally give myself like 4, because that 4, it means like 1% on my account. So sometimes I see the what is it, the structure, and to be honest, like we are all human beings, we will always have emotion. At times there are slightly that I want to revenge on the market. I believe that the market should do this, should do that, right? And instead of I limit myself 2 to 4 losses, like in a row, for example, I should stop. I allow myself up to 6. So really, that is just about how you feel comfortable with the market. All right. This one, the lower high. You mean this? You mean this to be broken? If that's okay, you mean this to be broken? If this to be broken, you see there are several break of structure here already. A very small one, and this probably will take some time for people to actually understand the hidden order block or the hidden break of structure. When we go to a lower time frame, let's say let's go to M5, right? You see that? This is the break of structure already over here. So when this lower high is broken, especially with this a very strong candle, we know that the market is going to go higher. And in this instant, when you go to M5, you will actually make a better, what is it? Yeah, better return. On M15, it still can give you like 1 to 10. You can draw by typing, there is, what you call it? An annotation? Par, do you want me to make you become a host? So, but everyone understand why I take this as the, okay.
Yes, I understand, Ann. Yeah, it makes sense. Can you hear me?
Can you do it?
No, Ann, can you hear
All right.
me?
Yeah. All right. I understand. So you think that it should be like that? Yes, I understand. Okay, but here it doesn't look like that, right? So you think this lower high should be broken. Now you can draw it on the chart. How do you think that it should be drawn over here? Let me just remove mine here. So can you mark in here somewhere on the chart? No, just on the candlestick alone, not by the pattern like that. So how it should be drawn? Like, to me, this is a clear break of structure, this first one. So this is a lower high, this is a lower high, this is a lower low, and then create a higher high. It's actually this lower high, lower low, lower high. So this in a small one, lower high, lower low, higher high. That's the way I see it. And this what I have been doing. And then if there is two break of structure, it gives me indication that the market is going to go higher. You see, like you said that over here is actually over here also with this one. So 1, 2, 3, and then it reverse higher, right? Because there are, to me, there are already 3 broken structure, like here and also here. That's the one that the way I see it. Now let me show it to you. All right, so let me clear all drawing. Okay, so here, when you only want to buy, did you watch my ABCD video? I said you only buy at the higher low and you only sell at a lower high, right? So you only sell at the lower high, you only buy at a higher low. So to me, this candle is a higher low in a very small one. How come? And you think that you can argue that this is just one, okay? But the way I see it, why I say this is the break of structure, take a look. This is low, high, low, high. You see, it's the same like this. So this is a higher low to me, because if you take a look now, take a look, it's going up as well, right? So far, do you understand my view right now? So I just want to make sure that everyone understand. I'm not forcing the market because it's already happened, because if it doesn't, it works like this is the way that I would see it, right? And here, oops, let me just clear it all. So yes, like this one. So it can, the best one is actually like when a lower high create a lower low like this, and then this lower low create a higher high, right? This is a very strong reversal. But on the other hand, sometimes, I think I said it in the video, in last video, I said sometimes it's like this, right? It doesn't break this one, I said, but there is another break this one, right? That's what I said in the video, which is the same like the other one. So this is a higher low, and it makes a breakout and become a higher high. This is a valid pattern for reversal. So it is not always a lower high, okay, and then lower low, and then create a higher high. Sometimes it creates a lower high, a lower low, and then here you will see this probably as a lower high, and then it's broken, but this is not a lower low, it's already become a higher low. The one to the left is chocolate, okay, but the right one is, yes, you can say that, but to me, just the reversal actually here, it started to be yeah, vanilla to the right, yeah. To me, it's just reversal also, you know, when there is lower high, and suddenly there is a higher high from lower high, is a chocolate pattern, okay? So that's to me, but you see again, so it could be like that, right? It breaks this one, or it can also be like that, like here, right? It doesn't matter. So we just want to see the break above. The key is in the break above, okay? Whether it is a lower high to be broken, or yeah, it's always lower high to be broken, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the pattern like that. If you're looking at reversal pattern, do you also look at the candle pattern also? Candle pattern by what you mean? Can you elaborate that? Like a pin bar? No, I do not really focus on that. Yeah, you probably can, but what is the pin bar sometimes is rather confusing to me. You see, like sometimes it is within the trend line, something like this, and it's just difficult, but you can. Could you please elaborate on discounted price and break of structure? Okay, what you mean? I discounted price and break of structure with the momentum version. I really don't understand what you mean. I know that people say it is a premium price, discounted price, and things like that, and it sometimes confused me, like whose price or whatever. I really just trade simple, guys. Seriously, I just trade simple, and I've been doing this, and it has been just really good. Like can you elaborate more? Discount is below 50%. Okay. I know. Discount. Okay. Yeah. I actually have said about that, but the way I said it is not discounted. Like, okay. All right. So, oops. Why did I call that again? All right. Let's go to here again. All right. So, for example, you have an order block here, right? And this is a giant order block, and this is from H4, and here is the 50% of it, right? So this below 50% consider the best price, right? But here above is, well, it's still good, but not so premium, I guess, right? And then, so what happened if the price coming back, I'm talking like from the, what is it, the smaller time frame, could be M5 or M15, whatever, or H1. If the price coming back here, so it's a good price, because why? Let's say the last high is here, right? You can get better price here to reach here. Obviously, the risk reward could be higher, right? But on the other hand, sometimes the trend of the market is very strong. You see, sometimes it just go like that, only hit a little bit and go like that. So it just hit, and then so what we want to do, we just want to find out the first break of structure after this. Sometimes you want to wait. Some people, there is a guy asked me yesterday, so what do I have to do? Do I have to start finding the break of structure when it hit the order block, when they get the alert, or I have to wait to hear? It's really up to you. I would suggest you take a look. It would be different from one scenario to another, okay? But really, what I do, I just make it simple. Just treat it simple. When it hit the order block, okay? That's why if it is daily, I always take a look on H1 and then on N15. You do not want, when you get H4, even on H4, and you directly go to M1. Because if you trade it on M1, you will see right away the break of structure. So you want to take a look at least on M15 first, or M5, then you just can see or find the break of structure. It could be like that. Just the first break of structure. You try to make it simple, okay? It can be within here, above 50% or below, or probably it will go here, right? So it could hit a stop loss if you take a direct entry, but then it can make the new break of structure around here, then you still can buy. Does that make sense? Yeah, the guy is so smart. I'm sorry, maybe I'm not really that smart, so I just take it this simple. But to be honest, it makes quite a lot of money just being like break above, just like that. I do not use any terms like liquidity or whatever, because I'm not bankers guy. I'm just a retail trader, but I have been profiting quite good just by using, okay, touch the order block, wait for the break of structure. That's it. Just wait for break of structure, right? Okay, hold on a second, because there are a lot of questions at the top, so I want to be fair. I want to take a look. Hold on, let me just take it here. Right, so second one. That's where I already had it. Try not to use trading views. It's just personal preferences. I also personally do not use trading view. I'm struggling with the spread, either entry not being triggered or stop loss being hit too soon. I had a spread to my stop loss. So Ben, probably you, okay, is there a better way, or I should stick? Okay, if you are, to me, all right, if you trade major pairs like Aussie dollar, euro dollar, GU, I think you still can use on M1 if it is M1. But if it is major, minors like Canadian yen and everything, trade it on M5 or M15. That way the spread will not become a problem. The reason why I do not trade on M1 is because of the spread problem. Especially I'm using the standard account with no commission, but the spread is high, right? So if you're talking about if I add a spread to my stop loss, that also can be done, right? If you use this tool, our tool, it actually already include the spread as of the lot size. I mean, not the distance. So again, if it is a major pair, you still can use the M1, but if it is major, try it M5, M15. All right. I know that it's tempting to always get 1 to 50, 1 to 60, but I think having M5 and 15, you know how many of us struggle to get 1 to 2, 1 to 3 long ago. Right now, you are not satisfied with 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, and so let's just make it simple and trade it. What is it? It doesn't mean that you. I do not encourage anyone to get 1 to 50 or so, you know, but especially because of the spread. All right, so you just focus on a little higher time frame, M5 and 15 or H1 from the daily alert. As long as you get 1 to 5, 1 to 10 comfortably, that will be good for your account. Okay, and here, my question is regarding the break-of structure. What shall we consider for break-of structure? Break in price below or above the previous low high, or break with the candlestick? Yeah, some people, they use the break-of structure based on the candlestick. Hold on. Let me go back because I have a drawing tool, so I have to. That one. Let's go back here, because this one is already done. Okay, some people will consider this as a break above, for example. Oh, where is an example? Maybe this break below. All right, I'm talking about this candle, but some people will consider with the candle. So this and that look like this. Let's say it's here. Okay, this is considered break above. I'm not talking about this candle, but just the wick. But some people want to get break below with the candle like this, or like yeah, like this. This is break below, and this is break above with the body. It's just a matter of preferences. There are no right or wrong. You just have to see what is working for you. And to be honest, when it comes to higher time frame, looking for the order block, I always include the body. My husband always include the body, including when he snipe, for example, on the lower time frame, right? He usually looking for the order block from weekly and then trade it on H4 or H1, and he always looking for with the body. But I myself, when I go to M5, for example, or M15, I just take a look. All right, for example, like something like, yeah, like I showed it to you before, like this, for example, I would consider, okay, this is start breaking above, or sorry, here, okay, this is break below, so this is my order block. Sometimes I do that. I just mixed it. If it is on the lower time frame, after I have the alert from higher time frame. Okay, so that's me. So it is personal preferences, so you can just choose whichever that make you feel comfortable.
And can
Okay,
you hear
do
me?
you give buffer for stop loss? I usually just put it at the last low. All right, like something like this, even though where is it? Right here, the order block is basically is here, right? When I look at the situation, and if it is just a little bit, I would just put in there on this low, because I always take it 50%, you know. So this is, and also I take a look right now, there is 5.9 pips. And for example, if my stop loss, sorry, if this is, let's say this is 2 pips, okay? Let me remove that. Let's say this is 2 pips, not 7. Let me just. Okay, here is 4.5. If I take it, for example, this is euro dollar, and the pip that I got, let's say 1 pip, I would just add it here to the bottom, like 1 more pip. All right, if it is like 2 pips, usually I used it like two pips minimum, 2 to 3 pips, sometimes up to 5 pips. That's the minimum. But since I trade on 50%, so I would make it bigger like this. So it is like 6, so mine will become 3 pips. Yeah, like that is the amount that I can get. I mean, I'm willing to risk, and that will still be okay with the standard account over here, because the spread is about 1 pip for euro dollar. And I always take a look if it is 2 pips. Okay, so now you just can take a look the distance of the break of structure. If it gives you, for example, like this 9 pips, well, you do not have to add something, unless if the order block is very small, for example 1 to 9 pips, then I wouldn't put like exactly like that, probably, because this is 1.9 pip, and then here is also 1 pip for the spread, so I would put it a little below, like to make it 2 or 3 pips. That's me. Okay, but not every single trade I always put a buffer. If it is like, for example, 9 pip, oh, why would I put a buffer? Only if it is below 2 pips, and then I take a look at the pips of a particular pair. But in this case, it's euro dollar, so it's small. But if it is Great Britain, New Zealand, for example, it could be like more pips. So I give a buffer, depends on the order block itself. All right, if it is 3 pip, I would add additional 2 pips. So where is the chat again? All right. The spread is killing me. The spread is killing me, and some spread are higher than 9. Oh, what? Outside the majors. Wow, that's very high. Martin, are you American? So that's probably is because yeah, as for American, like scalping could be very difficult. So I guess that you just have to take it M5 or M15, like on M1. It will become it will not make any sense if the order block here, for example, all right, and then your stop loss should be here. Then your risk reward ratio will be like become very small, even though that you sniped it. So maybe try like from M5 M15, because you see it will be like 8 pips, so maybe you just add 3 pips below. All right, it's crazy. 9 pips, crazy. All right, so let's see. Okay, I posted about New Zealand yen in Telegram, but now I cannot find. Okay, so we'll see this example with the trend bearish, and I would see it's a pullback retrace of the bearish trend. Yeah, we were talking about that. And when the price wick outside of the order block and closes back inside the OB, and the candle after that one closes inside the order block, then we still can take it, and most of the time it will work. Yes. So we will want to trade whenever it's still at least close to the alert itself. Okay. And then how do you trade IC market standard when the spread can be terrible at times when you mark the entry and stop loss to cater for spread? Because we are, that's why my husband trade on H1, H1 and 15 minimum. So it doesn't matter to us, because, sometimes like on M15 like this, is the spread still all right for us. As for IC market, I see that global prime, I think, yeah, and it's better for standard account, but we haven't moved there yet, so maybe we still comfortable with the IC market, and we do not feel like we move that. It's only when I see things like that, the concern I have to. Okay, so what I have seen, when the spread are high, you cannot scalp. You have to use high time frame to trade with a high spread. Exactly. Yes, this is the only way to make profit when you have a high spread. You cannot scalp. You only want to do like M15 minimum, probably. M15, M5 probably still can, but that is the lowest you can go. This is, we already said it before, and then the one that there are did not make the snipe pattern, the law that was like from R before. This is already answer. When the candle is that strong and big, will normally return back down. You can enter, just like what happened to this one. Yes, I think there are 2 patterns. We already discussed that. I think it's getting at the ICT concept of premium, yeah, yes. We must use the candle pattern when they are not around point of interest or area of value. Okay. How much percentage growth do you achieve on average weekly or monthly? Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. When I trade, I personally, well, my husband take it seriously for his trading account, but I personally do not like how do I say it? How do I say it? For me, it's not a must to trade. I really enjoyed it, so I only feel like I only trade when I feel all right. I feel comfortable, so I trade. So I do not always sit down in front of the computer all the time. Like for me right now, like when I do this, I really want to help so many people to understand that, because we have been trading like for quite sometimes. My husband is the one who is serious, but let's say to me when I trade and then I get 1 to 10, like you see the last few days, you notice that, oh, I got 1 to 10, I'm done for the day. And then sometimes I get 1 to 10, 1 to 5. Sometimes I lose 4 and I did not continue. Sometimes I lose 1, I did not continue. Just so you can imagine, like, okay, on average, I got, if I lose 1 to 4, I did not continue, that is like 1%. But then the next day and the next day, I could make 1 to 10, 1 to 20. Like on average, is about 3 to 5% in a week. For me is good. But sometimes when I feel like I want to trade, I could make like 60% in a week, sometimes 25%. That was like so crazy time, but I barely do that anymore, because right now I'm more focusing right now for uh yeah, a small charity work that I do outside. But I really enjoy like doing all this, sharing with people and giving guidance, because once you know like how to trade like this, it just stick to your mind. It's very easy for you to draw the break of structure, right? To what is it? Just following the pattern. The most important thing is that you are in the area of the alert where it gives you a high probability trade. I really want, look, for next week, okay? So we will try to find the one that is not working, and then how it will look like on the lower time frame. So for next week, if you find something that is not working, completely not working, for example, there is an alert, so we will want to see like how it looks like on the lower time frame and how many losses that one can get. You see, like this one is eventually, like this one is working even though not reaching its last high, right? But it's already profiting. Like you can get like 1 to 16 or 16R if you give this one the stop loss over here, right? So to me, making like even 5% a week, that will be more than enough for my spot. Like today, so I went for one, and it's just good. So sometimes I just withdraw in a week, or yeah, usually I just withdraw every week regardless. Because that is for the stray cats and things like that. So anyway, I do not put myself that I have to make. For me, it's like for my own pocket money also. So some people like my husband account is the bigger one, but for me, I'm just like, I do not consider it like playing around, but yeah, it's just enough, not even bigger than those who join the prop firm. No, I do not join the prop firm. I just feel more enough. One day when you feel comfortable with your trade and you already make money like this, you will know, like for example, I only need for example $100,000 account, and then you can trade it. For me, like 20% a month is enough, for example. That can happen. You will not thinking I want to have $10 million account, right? You will reach the point where you will tell yourself, like for me, for example, 25, 50, sorry, 50,000 or less than $100,000 account is more than enough, or $200,000 account is more than enough for me, then I do not think like, even though that if I want to have like, let's say $5 million account, but I just come to think like, okay, I just feel enough with 100,000. So that will happen to you. So probably it's already happened to you. Like you probably already have the idea like, I just want to have this $200,000 account, for example. Like someone could have, I want to have $1 million account. So it could be different. But with this strategy, like the relaxed way, what I'm doing, it could make like even 3%, 5% in a week. And when you lose 4, it is just you're losing 1%. But because you know how to read the market, how you do the break of structure, there are no more guessing. You're just following the pattern like this. That's it. Because it's become like a clear formula to me, a simple formula. Just break above and then put the order block. It can work, it cannot. But when we trade over the H4 order block or D1 order block, the high probability to make it work is high. You see, imagine that if we make like let's say we revenge trading, even if we revenge trading over here, there are no way that you can make like 10 losses in a row. But let's say you lose 10 trades in a row over here, okay, just from this one pair, and then you got 1 to 15 and 1 to 10, you will still be in profit. You know, like someone, oh, I lose 10, all 10, but you just need one trade to break even with this strategy. So try to take it easy. You really do not have to trade every single alert unless you have time. You can do that. Or every time there are alert, you just draw and see how it happened and then share it in the group or in the community side. So by sharing like this, you know, while it happens, it will help yourself and also others to learn. Like sometimes, like today, for example, if Park told me, don't you think this one should be the one is lower high, but mine is here at the bottom, because I see it a different low and high. So different opinion can sometimes open your understanding perspective, you know, from different dimension, how the way people see it. Because you see, to be fair, when I draw, it looks so easy, right? It's like that, or I said like that. It's so easy. But take a look at the real market. There are wicks, there are like, yeah, so many wicks, and the price is, it doesn't look like straight like this, because this is just drawing, so it's easy. But you really need a chart time. You really need to practice your eyes until you feel comfortable that this is your style to choose the break of structure, that this is my style to choose the break of structure. It may not be working for you. You may be able to avoid all these losses just because you want to, your criteria is probably this lower high should be broken or this lower high should be broken, but the rule is still the same. You only want to take a trade on the buy order block from a higher time frame on the and then on your lower time frame choice to see the break above, and whichever break above, then you have to do your chart time. And this is mine, that it has been profitable for me and makes me feel comfortable. Maybe yours is different, but I will keep sharing mine, you know, like this, and then so you will see along the time you feel comfortable, and then you stick to it. And as much as there are a lot of terms, I would suggest to please try to look at the market in a simple way, because the more you complicate things, the more your brain will think like, oh, what about this, what about that, and there are too many scenarios then in your mind. So for you to be able to think like simple is always the best, at least to me. Now you can either like draw a trend line, for example, Okay, now here, this is a very good one. Now, this is a trend line, right? Now, I wouldn't make this become the break of structure. You know why? Because there is just a break below. I would let it to break below this low first, and then I started to be here. So you can do with the trend line also, to understand when you start looking for the buy order block, because sometimes the price like this, right? Look, playing around with you and then broken. And then when this broken, you know that the prices come back to the trend line and then go lower, right? So you will understand this and that, but in a simple way, like this. I would consider this a break of structure, but I wouldn't put my order block here, my buy order block here. Why? Because if I draw this is just a break below. And then here, I said I would take this as the order block. Why? Take a look again. If we use a trend line, it's going above. So I would take this one. That is the only thing that I usually do. How when I trade my order block, I just do the most I can do is usually trend line or channel, barely channel. I just use a simple trend line. Is it the market is higher or lower? That's it. So if you want to take another, for example, another order block here, does it make sense? Yeah, because the price is higher right now. So this one is make sense, regardless it's gonna work or not. All right, that's the way how I see it. So I will keep doing the Zoom call like this, and it's really good. So the next time you can tell me, let's do a breakdown on this alert or on that alert and see how it should be done. Because regardless it happens or not, you will see, like for sometimes like in a week, probably even though not every day, when I'm at home and in front of the computer, I will do the breakdown like the last few days. So this is the breakdown, this is the break above, and then so this one hit a stop loss, this one doesn't. So you can follow how the way my thought process on how to deal with the market right now, because I have a lot of chart time before. Right now, regardless the condition like this, it would be very easy for me. This is the break of structure, this will lose, and this will not. I will not take this, I will take that. It would be easy for me to, because just keep following like this one, okay? Like this one. I wouldn't take this as the order block. Maybe this one is working, but I wouldn't take this. You know why? Because again, take a look here. If I do that, right? It's just break below, right? And this is already break above. Maybe the price come back and go lower, and there is possibilities to take this one. So if something like this happen, I would just wait. Maybe I missed it, that's okay. But with your analysis, you just do not want to complicate too many things. You see, like this one, this is like, yes, this is actually could be higher. This is actually a higher low comparing to this one. But if you used it with the trend line, for example, you may avoid one or two losses by understanding the simple market structure around the area. All right. So okay, now let's see again another question here. You're so funny. This week I struggled to avoid -1. Yes, that is everyone, So a long time ago we used ABCD. We just take 1 to 1, 1 to 2. Now we get 1 to 10, and people become so greedy. I want a 1 to 50. That's why they're always forced to trade it on M1, which is nothing wrong. It's actually amazing if you can master the M1 like Kyle, and there are some other like Zafir and also Nam. Oh my God, I know a guy which is not in our group, and he traded like different way, but he's like to me he's crazy, but he makes 100% at least a day. But yeah, he's his money management to me is like crazy, but he can make it. If someone can do that with the auto block, that would be awesome. But maybe to me, it's like when it comes to money management, after several losses, let me drink my tea first. After several losses, you measure your feeling. Do you feel comfortable with the loss, or does that make you feel like your heart beating so fast, and that's make you feel like worried? If several losses like 2%, 5% make you your heart beating too fast, it's a sign that you have to lower your risk. You see, like right now, if I lose like, let's say 4 in a row, which means 1%, and comparing to the amount of the account I have, regardless if it's 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, and I still feel okay, then that is the correct one. It's just not so long ago, a few months ago, so I had a different account. I tried it on ECN, right? So I put a high risk, 0.5%, and then in a week, I lost like 5%. I felt so uncomfortable. And then so I follow my husband to point, my husband is on 0.20 or 0.25 maximum. So I try to 0.25 maximum, even though when I lose, like, for example, 10 in a row, which is, it barely happened to me. Usually I just lose 1, 2, or 3, and then I just forget it and continue trading the next day. One, which is only 0.25. So I'm all right with that, and then take it easy and trade it. But when you do not chase something, like you do not chase the money usually come to you easier, right? So I have this lady yesterday came to me, and she said, can you tell me the one kind of entry where I can make like full margin? I said, why would you want to do that? Because I need to make a small account to become so big very soon, because I need to pay my debt. She has a big debt, and I said that is not the way to do that. You do not want to put expectation on the market that you want to get this amount. You should do the opposite. Let the market decide what it what it will gives you. You cannot do this. My goal is I want to make, for example, 10% a week. Well, it is not how it works. You just trade what the market gives you. First, like for example, let's say right now, what is it? You're trading our alert. You don't know when you will get our alert, right? So you just trade whenever you can, whenever you have time, and then follow the market. In a week, you may make 5%, 3%, sometimes could be 17% or 20%, not exactly as 10% as you wish. Because if you decided that I want to make 10%, it is like you are telling the market you should go this way, you should go that way, right? Which it doesn't work that way. Like in this particular trade on euro dollar, you see, we just don't know how much we will make, but we know our pattern, our strategy can give a high probability trade. Like I said myself, sometimes I make less than 1%, sometimes 5%, sometimes 15%. I just do it in a just in a happy way, because one day when your account is already growing, like in a week, it can covers, let's say, for a year living. So what else do you want, right? when you already reach that way, for example. So and you train yourself to always follow what the market gives you. Don't put yourself like, I want to make 5% a day, for example. This guy I told you about, that he makes 100% a day. I don't know how he does that. He used our tool as well, and he kept telling us that, oh, your tool is really helping me. He sometimes makes 400%. I really don't know how he does that, and he doesn't use the auto block trading strategy, by the way. So he's just crazy. Well, he's a millionaire already, but I said, I don't want to know how you do that. It looks like he trades on M1, I think, and only euro dollar, or I don't know. But yeah, some people has their own style. But to me, just trade it the way the market gives you, relax, and that will be good. All right. So hold on a second. All right. No, I cannot hear you because I think it was set like that. I don't know. How do you get the square to show? Ah, this is from our tool. Yeah, you can get it from startseedfx.com. It is automatic, like when you go like that. So when you click this, you see there are pips already. It is from the tool. It's $125. That's belong to my husband and the programmer. So you can check it at the startseedfx.com. Yeah, and runs longer because the spread has gone as what? The spread like 18? Maybe it is the market close. This if this is like that, maybe you have to become a swing trader from H1, H4. But I think you should be able still to trade on M15, probably not on M5 if it is like 18. This is crazy. Martin, I want to know what is your spread? I mean, what's your broker? Yes, is our tool. My husband and his programmer. When sometimes the price pierces through H4 order block and then come back again, is it considered violated? Or yes, you still can trade it. You still can trade it. Look, sometimes the price and then going down, right? Like this one going down. Sometimes it is a lot lower and then come back here. Again, you just follow the rule, break of structure, and then it goes up on your way. But maybe you also want to draw something like just train your eyes. I do not always use the trend line, but just by looking at my eyes like this, okay, this is like a little bit going up, and then okay, and then here, this is still close higher than this one, so there is probability it still go higher. Sometimes you just can looking with your eyes without drawing the trend line as well. But you know the idea, just is it close higher, you know, the low, is it this one is close higher than this one goes higher than this one, so there is possibility the price going to go higher. And H1 order block are normally better for trading. Normally the H1 order block is inside. Similar, yes, like I said, the higher the time frame, usually the better, but probably lower in terms of the return. But if it always give you peaceful, if it give you peaceful mind and you trade it on H1, like why not? I trade daily on the block on H1 or M15. All right, so and here, can you do some live trade next week when it reaches the have so it will be live? Yes, that's what I did like the last week, and I sent it via I think it's the same. Yeah, so when I copy like for example the price around here, this is the break of structure just before the right happens, so I just can show you the screenshot. I think that will help. Yeah, I will do that. I actually do that already in here. I forgot it was on the trading. Hold on, it was on your here, I think. Yeah, here there are 6 over here, meaning I follow up the market. Like I said, the look on M5 now, and then here an example of a counter trend. So I will do this, and hopefully will be more often to do this. You see, like until now, like until here, and then so I said my first order hit 1 to 10, my scale first and second 150 were missed. So I only had one trade, cost profit in 1 to 10. I'm done for today. So I will just following up, and I will post it both in the community. So maybe later on can be like a trade journal, which pair that I trade, or sometimes I don't trade it and I just help people to show which one is the break of structure. Oh, here's the thing, okay? So when the price come back and hit the order block around here, you have 2 options. You look left, like this is the old order block, okay, which is not hit by the price, which is working with this order block, all right? Or you can wait for the current price to make the breakout structure. It doesn't matter. It hit almost the same. So this is the lowest one. And here the breakout structure also hit, but not the 50%. Okay. So, oh, thank you. I hope that you like my teaching. I finally found my trade, and that's posted in Telegram if you want to take a look at the struggle. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just open New Zealand. I can tell your struggle. Okay, all right. This is a very good example. Now, let me just, so this is the order block, right? Let me just review it again. This is New Zealand, Japan. This is a very good example. Where was the alert? New Zealand, Japan. All right. Is it this one? Is it the buy one? It's the buy one, but I saw yours is. Why you sell? It's a sell order block. There is no. Oh, hold on. Oh, you're right. Ah, gosh, so sorry. I was not really focusing on that. You're right. I can tell you must be struggle over here. So let's see. All right, let's go first. So this is where you. This is a very good example of, look, when you see after here on H4, right? This is the first couch, okay? And then you see this candle and this candle, especially the third candle, is a sideways like this. I would usually just leave it if you see after that, like, because the one that you want is the same, just like if you take a look at this over here, right? The reason I didn't take euro dollar yesterday once because I have migraine, and then also take a look at this, it was a little bit sideways. But let's take a look on M5. Consider you are on. Were you trading on M5 or M15? Let's go here. Okay. M5. All right. So here I would look left. All right. So this is, I would mark this. Look, since this is 7.5, and then if I look at that, it's become 14, right? Look, this one is hit, but will not hit my 50%. So this one is right now just hit, okay? I would absolutely mark that one. And then let's go back here. Here, if the first break above, right? Oh, sorry. There, but yeah, let's consider this and this, for example. I want to know, it was the 7. Yeah, it was the 7 over here and then hit around here, right? Yes, it was the 7. Oh, sorry, I was ending it. Do you take it on 50%? Yeah, because this is M5, right? So the price hit on 9th December, is it? It was this one, right? Look, it is 9th of December. It hit here. Look, you got it actually on 9th December. So let's go back again to M15. Oh, sorry, M5. Do you usually, guys, okay, what I do whenever I trade, I look both on M5 or M15. And I do have 4 monitors for my trading room. So I sometimes can see both all H4, M15, but it doesn't have to be more monitor. Even sometimes you just can back and forth, right? Back and forth on the New Zealand, Japan. We only have 1 hour. We only have 1 alert here. Let's take a look of yours. You sell. This must be my husband who make it. So let me just check it. Okay, I really want to make sure that you. Where? Ah, this one? Is it the one? Oh, all right. Why? All right. So is this one correct? Let's go to. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not really fast enough here. So with this to see on 5. This is the one, right? Look. Here is the first order block. This is the first break of structure, even though it doesn't create like really a lower low. This is like a risky one. But let's say you want to take this. Directly hit. So this is a losing one. And after it hit the losing one, almost at the same place, but it's a little bit higher. Like this, I wouldn't take it. I want to take the breakout structure if after the first one losing, I wanted the lower one. So in this case, I want to choose this. So this is the breakout structure here. And this is, sorry, another losing one. All right, another losing one. And here, the breakout structure. And this is it by that, but let's see if it can be. This one is a break-even one. So let's say because this one is break-even, so I'm not gonna put it in there, okay? This is the break-even one, and then so the price, if the price hit here and or here, yeah, that one is already break-even. Let's say I take a scale in directly. Here, one break-even, 3 losses. That can do, yeah. So using the risk, what is it? Using our RSI. And here, the breakout structure is below, right? And now, if I do that, and then for example here, it hit the stop loss. Wait. This is a losing one. And then here, but it is higher. Look, over here, okay? This is the breakout structure. It may be working, for example, the price coming back here and going down, but I wouldn't mark this as the order block. You know why? Again, take a look. It closed higher. Look, closed higher than the previous high. So this is dangerous. Like if you want to do that, you do not want to actually look, what is it? The order block over here when it's actually closed higher. You may lose a chance around here and the market is go bye-bye on your way. But if it is like close higher after one hit the stop loss like this, right? Because here is the breakout structure and then it hit directly a stop loss and it go higher. And even though there is a breakout structure after that over here, but you gotta be careful if this is like a little higher. And here also it makes another higher. I wouldn't keep taking again and again and again and again. Okay, over here. Now this is me. All right, this is already fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe let's say I was less focused and I still take this one because I didn't really pay attention. Okay, I somehow will realize that when the market is already hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and especially after this one higher and this one close higher, I would just done for the day. That's me, okay? Not because it's already happened, but I was just done for the day. Like, look, this is a good example of the market that is playing around with us. Take a look. This is lower, 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 but it's also close higher, 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 right? Regardless, this one is not working or working, but I would always pay attention if the price, for example, like close higher, 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 and well, let me put it in a simple term. This has become really confusing for us, at least to me, right? Look, let me just do this. So this is, yeah, you know how to do this. All you have to do if you want to do practicing like trading view but on MT4, you just go wherever you want, like something like this, right? Or let's say here, okay? This is the first time I touch, and then what you have to do is you just click F12, function 12 on your keyboard, and then it will just give you one by one. Look, like this, This is still higher. There is no break of structure there. Okay. All right. There is still no break of structure. No break of structure below. Is that break of structure? No. No. There. You will see it as a break of structure, right? Not because I already draw it, but it is, right? And then so you see that, and then it hit a stop loss. There, it hit a stop loss. Okay, and then it makes another break of structure. There, I obviously will make it like, for example, another order block in there because I thought that is already make a lower high, right? And then continue, and it hit another stop loss here. Around here, when it hit my stop loss, I would be alerted. Why? Because this is close higher than this one. I would start be alerted. All right, and then so close higher, and especially this one close higher like this, I would just be alerted. And then here, if I insist, I want to take that, but I personally will not take it. Why? Because this is close higher than the previous two. I knew that this was the what is it? The break-even one, right? But in this situation, I wouldn't take that. And then here, hold on. Now consider I took that one, right? All right, this is, I want to take it. And then here, it's another loss, right? This one hit, losing. I just want to take a look at the wick of this breakout, and it's higher also than this one. Plus, this is already a sideways. By this point, guy, after I lost 1, 2, 3, by this point, I wouldn't try at number 4. I would just leave this alert. Just be done with it. This is another break of structure. I absolutely will not mark this break of structure if the price is here. Why? Because this is higher than this one. Take a look after this is break of structure. That's the way how I see it when the market, for example, is not there yet. Okay, like this. I will not take this. I will not mark this one as the order block. Again, take a look. This is already sideways. So many losers around here, and this is already losing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm done. I'm done with this market. I'm not gonna put this as the order block. So you know. So we will always do like your first trade got some profit. Which one? Yeah, but this is like the way how I see the order block. I hope that you can see my thought process. So if you choose like any other, for example, maybe you choose this one, right? You probably choose this one. You could make profit in there, but I didn't see this as the way that I see it like right now. If I do it like this as a back testing by pressing the F12, so you can practice it like doing this. You do not have to have the, I know it is not as sophisticated like TradingView, but by doing this you can also do you can also practice like TradingView, you know, just like move to the history and make sure, oh, this one also I actually put it score chart, but yeah, you can put the F12 like this. All right, look, now take a look, it's also close higher. It's just getting confusing. This is the sell order block. This is a sign for me to just leave it, like even until here when this is closed, because we just don't know. And then if this confusing to me, and if I still believe that the market should go down, I would consider it on a 15 first. here. I would go on 15, and then it goes, when I take a look here, it goes higher, higher, and then especially this one also, take a look, it's gonna go up, right? Even though there is the order block, even though there is a break of structure here, and then you may think, but it is going down, then you can take a risk. If you want, you can take a risk. And then now it's just telling you, you see, it will tell you if an order block or if a higher time frame alert is going to work or not. Take a look, it keep closing higher and higher and higher, right? You may miss over here, this is start closing lower, then you can take a trade if you feel like it. But then if it goes higher, it already showing you like 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. And then even though it's somehow probably around here is working, I personally just don't want to force the market. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Let me show it to you, the different, like with this Canadian. All right, now take a look. This was our order block that was working, right? Regardless, it is only one candle, but it gives us some profit. Take a look. Where? It was here, right? Look, the one that is working is just continue, keep going down, unlike this one, keep playing around with you, like closing higher, higher, higher. So every week, it is, you know, when it works, it works. But we want to discuss something like this when it is not working and why, you know. So I hope that like I will post it during, once we have the order block, and then so you can also follow like what I'm doing, sharing like this, break of structure, just keep following like this and learn together in case I am not online and then there is an alert like this. So the key is that if it is a sell order block, you got to be ready when the market closing keep higher and higher on lower time frame. You just want to wait. All right. So but to me, when I get, for example, on M5 and I already get 3 losses with a, like around here, 1, 2, 3, for example, and then here is I wouldn't take this one, I would wait, and it apparently closed higher. This is a done deal for me. It's okay. So I lose 3. So let's say I lose 0.75, consider it just 1%, and that's it. I will just wait for another alert. All right. So I hope that, does this make sense to you, the way I see the market like that? Yes. So we will need I will keep doing repetition with all of you and every week. So we'll just try. Maybe some days it will not be on Saturday, guys, because that when I did a vote, you know, like a poll last time, it was almost 50-50 on daily, and maybe later on I can do it on Wednesday also, not always on Saturday. All right, so we just can, but I'll do my best that we will always do it like every week like this until everyone truly understand. And hold on a second, did I miss something? Okay, I will get the whole question right now over here. So if I miss something, I will make it in the in another video, right? Yeah, I will make it in another video because I will get all this chat, and so these are all good questions, so I really want to make sure that I cover it all. And right, so I hope you guys learned something. So if there are still any more questions that I did not cover, so we will continue for the next Zoom call, or you can DM me, you know, either in a Telegram or via email or whatever you can, or here, you know, so you just can DM me around here, and I will make sure if it is like a good question, like the one which is belong to John and everyone, I think I will again redo this this video. All right. I like, you know, when I do Zoom call, I feel like it's a messy, you know, I going there and here. So when I share something, I like it to be organized, and then so the message is clear, and So everyone, like right now, I seem like I talk there and here, you know. So I like it when I share the knowledge. It would be it is easier to be organized. So I will do my best to redo it again. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming. So I will end this Zoom call right now. Thank you again. Bye-bye.